So thank you very much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Can we introduce everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Shonda Atwater. I'm the Apprenticeship Outreach Director at the Metropolitan Community College on the BT campus. We've got Joe Roche here. He's our Dean of Instruction. Roy Conkey is the Kansas City Area Director for the Apprenticeship Programs through the Department of Labor. And then we also have Lou Tobin here. He is the Division Chair for the BT campus.
Thank you so much.
And then we actually have
Go ahead.
communication staff for the college.
Great. And joining us now is Councilwoman Alicia Kennedy from the 5th District.
Thank you.
And I'm sure we'll have at least one more come.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, go ahead, Shonda.
Yeah, so this program has been in the works for some time now. We'll kind of go through it, but we're calling it business-led apprenticeships because that's really what it's about. It's about businesses giving them a gateway to fill in their skilled labor force that they need in order to grow their businesses. You can go ahead and move on. So the big question right now is, are we already behind? If you start back and you look at the news back in 2010, NPR came out and said, employers pickier about job applicant skills. The New York Times in 2013 said stubborn skills gap in America's workforce. You can start to see the trend here. The Wall Street Journal, January 2014, said the skills shortage means many jobs will go unfilled. Harvard Business Journal in 2014, employers aren't just whining, the skills gap is real. May 2015, time to worry about the manufacturing skills gap. You see that the apprehension and the need is starting to grow. Finally, in 2017, America has to close the workforce skills gap. That's Bloomberg News. From an MCC Business and Technology placement rate on our campus, most of our skills trade students have gainful employment even before they graduate. Tool and die is typically 90+%. Welding department is 95%. INTE is 95%. The HVAC is 95%. It's so bad at this point in time that we've actually canceled our meet and greets for businesses and employees because we don't have enough employees and we have too many businesses as employers looking for skilled labor. This intensifies even into the future. The skills gap is widening. They're looking at 60% or 3.4 million people that are manufacturing jobs that are going to go unfilled by 2025. This is It's when you combine the baby boomers that are retiring, you combine that with the economic enhancements, it comes to 3.4 million. That's huge, and it's going to hit Kansas City very, very hard. Just recently, Forbes came out and listed Kansas City as number 4 in the nation for manufacturing growth. So we're primed, and we're in the right space in the right area to grow our manufacturing economy, but we can't unless we fill our skilled labor force. The Kansas City Star also reported that the Midwest manufacturing is strongest in the last 6 years, but we're going to hit a lull if we don't fill that force. So how to fix the problem? The Manufacturing Institute report came out in 2015, and I went back, not just even this year, I went back to pull a previous report, said to address the skills gap, manufacturers not only have to find workers with the skills required to meet today's and tomorrow's advanced manufacturing requirements, they must also develop and engage their existing workforces. They've got to get skin in the game to develop and train those people. So what is an apprenticeship program? Right now, we know from a federal level, it's a huge initiative. The previous administration started Apprenticeship USA with a $95 million $95 million investment in that. Recently, they've talked about adding $200 million into that program, and it's a keystone initiative for the current Labor Secretary. Go ahead. So what is an apprenticeship? It's paid on-the-job training combined with classroom work, and it's a structured program. At the end of it, you end up with a nationally recognized credential from the Department of Labor that the apprentice basically is an expert in whatever field that they apprenticed in. The end goal for us is also to give that person associates in applied science from the MCC-BT campus. So apprenticeships work, literally. We know from the Department of Labor statistics that the ROI for a business is approximately $1.50 for every dollar invested in an apprenticeship program. Nearly 9 out of 10 apprentices actually stay on as employees after completing their apprenticeship program, which is fantastic. The benefits for the business is that they can help customize the on-the-job training. So if they have specialty equipment at their facilities, they can actually train and structure for those areas. They also get accredited coursework taught by skilled instructors. We have some of the best instructors in the region for the coursework that we teach. We'll also have a Train the Trainer program. We all know that boomers don't speak millennial and millennial don't speak boomers.
Right.
So we'll have a day devoted for those assigned mentors to come in and give them tips and tricks on how to actually give training to their mentee. We also have quality state-of-the-art training facilities. I invite all of you out to come out and tour the facility. We have approved testing facilities and free tutoring for all of our students. And for this program, it will be an easy cost structure and program management so that it's easy and seamless for the business to be able to take this on. Additional benefits for the business, this can help build employee relations even beyond just the apprentice. The fact that they're building an apprenticeship program should spark interest with more of their employees. It's an investment in their human capital, which we all know is the most expensive and the most important capital that you have to invest in your business. Job posting marketability. So a lot of businesses that we talk to have jobs that have been open for a year, and they're basically bringing people from other states to come in and work on this piece of equipment or that piece of equipment. If they open up and post this as an apprenticeship opportunity, they might be able to fill it faster. We also have standardized training for clients and customers. So some people that we're talking to have contracts, government contracts, military contracts, things like that. They're able to talk about the fact that they have a very standardized training program set in place. So benefits for an apprentice. Obviously, they come out of it with a certificate of federally approved apprenticeship. It's basically a diploma from the Department of Labor. They have the possibility for an associate's in applied science and, quite frankly, debt-free college credits. They get industry-related certifications and testing, and it's different for each program. And while they're going to school, they get minimum wage or better with wage increases as their skills increase. So this is a great opportunity for folks that may not, have thought that they would have an opportunity to go to college. So who are apprentices? The first thing is they have to be a regular W-4 employee. And a potential pipeline for a business would be incumbent workers and newly recruited employees. So people who they just really like, they come to work every day, they're excited to be there, but they may not have the skills necessary. And then a long game for us is pairing local school programs with these employees as well. So some of the programs that we offer, and I'll be honest, a couple of these are already in the Department of Labor system, but all of them will be in the system by next week. We've got industrial manufacturing and production technician, which is about a 1.5-year program, an industrial machine system technician, which is about a 2-year program. We're developing 2- and 4-year programs for welding. The 4-year will have an AAS degree, industrial electrical, maintenance mechanic, mechatronics, engineering technology, building maintenance, tool and die program, which is very exciting, and IT as well. So how is an apprenticeship sponsored? And this is very important for the Department of Labor. It can be employee sponsored. It can be sponsored by a college, which is what we're offering, or there can be union sponsorship. There's a lot of paperwork that goes into it and a lot of maintenance, and that's the benefit for the college actually sponsoring this for a business. So how do apprenticeships work? The first thing is that you get the business involvement, you create the structured on-the-job training, and we can actually, I don't know that I have it in this presentation, but it basically will show specific hours for specific tasks over the course of the year or the 4-year type program. We line out what the related instructions are going to be, instructional training at the MCC-BT campus. They get rewards for skills gains, and then out of it is the National Occupational Credential. It's that DOL diploma, essentially. So the MCC program that we're offering is basically 2,000 hours of on-the-job training per year with a mentor. It's up to 16 credit hours of related instructional courses per year, so that comes out to be 1 to 2 classes per semester and 1 in the summer. Probationary period for all apprentices equals 25% of the program, or up to 1 year, depending on how long the program is. So that offers some nice opportunities for the business and for the apprentice. Incremental increases in paid wages. We'll have the trainer program for mentors. And then we will be doing, MCC will be doing the yearly on-the-site job site visits with the mentor instead of DOL. And then we'll also offer a flat fee, which also includes books. And we'll be shipping the books to the businesses about a week before classes start. So the role of MCC is we act as the program sponsor, working directly with Department of Labor. We complete all the paperwork, the upfront paperwork. There's still some for the business to sign, but we complete all of that. We help show how to track the OJT hours and training benchmarks. We conduct the yearly required on-site visits. We help set the classroom instruction, including the books that are necessary. We offer industry-related testing facilities, and this also offers third-party management for the business. So they're not taking the onus on all themselves. They have a third party helping manage this. The role of the business is pretty simple. We want them to do what they do best, which is conduct business and make things. They employ the apprentice as a regular W-4 employee with regular wage increases. They assign the trainer or the mentor to each apprentice. Typically, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, and it can change based on the job that the apprentice is doing or that day. And then they also design and rotate the on-the-job training to help hit all the major areas or job functions that they need the apprentice to be skilled in. The role of the apprentice, you notice it's the largest gear. That's why we're all here. It's the most important one. Buy-in of that employee is key. They must meet any program requirements that are set forth. They have to meet any basic employer requirements, and then they need to meet MCC student requirements. The last thing is they have to track their on-the-job training and report them to MCC. So program setup, we talk a lot about the Appendix A, but basically that document is what we submit to the Department of Labor. It includes the wage progression schedule, the on-the-job training hours, and the instructional courses. So anybody know Mike Rowe? We like him. He's a huge advocate of skilled labor and associate's degrees and apprenticeships, but he recently, in April 2017, actually wrote a blog post and said it's easy to forget that the dignity of work has little to do with the actual job and everything to do with the skills needed to perform it. It simply have to get back to teaching those skills, and there's no better way to do that than through an apprenticeship program. I'm really excited about this program. I myself went through the traditional course and got, an undergrad and a master's degree, but at the end of the day, I'm the daughter of a welder. And I keep thinking if he'd had the opportunity to go through something like this, he'd be better set up at this point in time. So.
Thank you, Shonda. That was a great presentation. I'd like to give you all an opportunity to say something about the program. So let's see. I've got Joe, I've got you first.
I've been involved with technical training for a long, long time. I was a military instructor as well, and so I believe in this sort of thing. But technical training without on-the-job experience for a learner that learns this way,
Sure.
And for probably more than 60% of the people that learn, the way that they learn, it's not as effective. So that's what makes an apprenticeship program. What I've heard, the best description of an apprenticeship program is the gold standard for workforce training.
Yeah, I must agree with that. Lou?
Yes, and I've been in manufacturing for most of my life. I've been with the college for the last 5 years, but went through an apprenticeship myself, and in some of the different companies I've worked for, they had apprenticeships, and I do know there's a skilled opportunity like this would really help it gives the city a resource to offer companies who are looking for those skilled jobs.
Roy?
Yeah, thanks for the invitation to let us come and present today. I've been here in the Kansas City area now with the Department of Labor since 2012. We have about 4,000 apprentices in the greater Kansas City area. Most of those are in the building trades, both union and non-union. Probably one of the greatest examples of how something very similar to this that you probably already maybe know about but have forgotten about is the chef apprenticeship program at Johnson County Community College. This is essentially very, very similar, but we're focusing here on manufacturing. I come out of manufacturing. I'm a journeyman machine repairman by trade. Also did that for 32 years before going over to the Department of Labor. It's really blooming and blossoming. Last week I had 3 calls from different companies wanting tool and die maker apprenticeship program. So everything is kind of coming together. They talked about the skills gap. There is a huge skills gap. I'm one of the last of the baby boomers. In the facility that I came from, they didn't hire anybody behind me for 25 years because manufacturing was shrinking, so there was no need. Now as that's growing, there's nobody there, and the last of us mentors, journeymen, are 58 and older, and so this is something we really need to try to capture here with your businesses that are already in place, and at the same time attract other businesses into the area. So if you have any questions on apprenticeship, we'd be glad to take
You're the
them
guy, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we have lots of questions, so I'm going to allow my committee to speak first and ask questions, and then we'll talk a little bit more about this. Councilwoman Hall?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Thank you for this report. This is a critical gap, and it's something that we talk about in our family, and I know my husband has sent our teenage boys to welding classes, not because specifically maybe that's what they're going to do or not, but the point is we are losing the people who know how to do the jobs that need to be done, and there's nobody right now in these younger generations that knows how to do what everybody else knows how to do in the older generations, and we can't just let that go away. And so his fear is that what exactly is happening, so he's like, I'm not going to let my kids not know how to do these functions in their life. So that's something we've taken on ourselves, but not everybody does that. And to give this opportunity to families and to the youth to be able to be in these apprenticeship programs and learn for real how to do these jobs, this is extraordinary and necessary, and I'm glad that you guys are doing this, and however we can help promote this or be an advocate for you for this, let us know, because this is critical to our next generation of employees. We want them to be successful and have productive careers so they can provide for their lives, and this is a wonderful way to get them a start. So thank you.
Councilwoman Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you all for the presentation today. It's really good to know that our community college is being proactive at identifying the areas of growth, opportunities for employment. Now, obviously, the key to it is making sure that we are pairing those individuals that are suitable for these type of jobs, getting them in the program. What has been, and I've had a good opportunity to meet with the new president over the BTC since she's been here and learn more about the programs there. But that training center is kind of in an isolated area. And what approaches has the college taken to do intentional recruitment for urban areas, and what if any suggestions do you guys have or plans in place to deal with transportation?
Couldn't hear very well.
Recruitment from targeted populations and transportation.
Recruitment with an apprenticeship generally through the employer, and that's because an apprentice in this particular program is through the employer, and it's hopefully with the employer paying them to start with, and then also paying for their college,
To train.
give them that opportunity and resources to be able to come in this particular program. That's what we're looking at. So, and we're forming right now some partnerships with some high schools, also with their career in tech, where they can either start the apprenticeship at age 16, or they can be prepared to enter into one of these apprenticeships, and it'll be a hiring pool that we can pull directly from and offer these different companies an opportunity to hire someone who's had some manufacturing training at the high school level, which isn't very much anymore. And we're working on developing some of those programs and bringing them in. So that's kind of our recruitment tool, is to try to engage the high schools. And that's probably, we're working on it now.
Yeah, that's, and I apologize for my hearing impairment. Too many loud machines throughout life. But yeah, that's one of the areas that I saw the deficit in, was in the younger generation entering into these career opportunities. So we've been asked. We've been working with Manual Tech on an initiative recently, and working with the director down there, and then also asked that other career centers and high schools to come and to start to communicate and basically work on that pipeline to make sure that, and to me, my personal goal is to remove any barriers there are to students entering that pipeline and understanding the opportunity. To me, the greatest benefit, I think, is somebody entering into these well-paying career fields without student debt on the other end, and being able to. Unfortunately, very few people know that there is a potential to go on to all the way through graduate school, and it's not very well known. So I've made it my goal to make it known to as many people as possible. And so the school directors have asked us, and the school principals have asked us to come and to explain this to parents, because all the parents still want their kids to have a 4-year degree. And so we want to let them know that that can happen, but they don't have to pay for it.
Nice.
I think another great recruitment tool with these programs is, I think there's 1,200 different apprenticeshable jobs that are out there. And if you go back to the slide with the different programs that we're offering, Lou, we're trying to design several of these programs to sort of stagger in the skills necessary. So that industrial manufacturing production technician is basically somebody off the street that doesn't know anything but is interested in a opportunity or a job position. And so that's something that these manufacturers can say, look, if you have no skills whatsoever, this is a great pathway for you to come in and be employed and also gain those skills at the same time, which can help with recruitment.
Perfect. Thank you. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Reed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to echo the comments of my peers here, and how important these programs are. And I think that what you all have outlined to us as a committee shows, of course, the attention that you're giving and opportunities that you are giving to so many young people in our community. I've always been impressed every time I've had an opportunity to go and visit these programs, especially Manual Tech, and seeing a lot of the different work, but then even at the schools as well, at our community colleges. It is really, really important to me how people understand that a 4-year institution is not necessarily a place that everybody's going to go. And our community colleges really provide that opportunity for people to realize there are opportunities for them to realize what their true passions actually can be, but then also having the skills. And oftentimes I have conversations with a lot of my friends and peers, and we talk about how so many people are not trained to go into the workforce. But then they don't realize that these opportunities actually do exist for them to get trained outside of going to a four-year institution for some type of program. So I just echo the comments that have been made, and well, thank you all for your presentation, and thank the chair for making sure that we're together as a committee so that we are knowledgeable, of course, about what's happening and ways that we can expand these programs, but then let the public know as well. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Can we, I was going to ask Shonda, can we get a copy of the PowerPoint? You've got it. Okay, great. Well, I just had a couple of more questions before we finish up here. We need to know if people are interested out there, if businesses are interested, or individuals who are interested in getting with the program, who and how do they make contact?
The school, right now, they can contact the school if they're an individual to learn about how to become a student. For a business that's interested in this program, contacting the school or even contacting me is a great way to do that. Roy is also a great resource.
Okay, and we'll put that information on our website.
Okay, great.
Okay, and I know, like you said, not everyone is, Councilman, not everyone's set up for a four-year college degree. However, you can obtain a four-year college degree with a skilled labor also. So I think today's technology and today's manufacturing takes more than it did 50, 100 years ago. So you need that education behind your training to make this all work. And I think this program is absolutely amazing to get us a good start here in Kansas City and here in the Midwest. And I'm proud to kind of be out there in front on this one. So we appreciate you all coming down here, and I'm sure we'll have lots more questions, and we want to have you back again, and so we can continue to let people know what we have to offer here. So thank you all so much for coming, and we really, really appreciate it. And you'll probably get some calls from our viewers now. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one more thing.
Sure.
We are having a business open house next Wednesday on July 19th at 5 p.m. It's for businesses only. We'll give a tour of the campus. We'll talk a little bit about this program, and we'll also feed you dinner. So.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, and you all are invited.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is that, John?
It'll be at the BT campus, at the MCC BT campus.
1775 Universal Avenue.
Great.
Do you have a flyer or electronic?
I can send it to you, yes.
That?
Yep.
Thank you. We'd like that.
Perfect. Okay, well, I know I'll attend, so we'll see.
Thank you.
Forward that to any business partners you think would like to come.
Perfect.
We'll
Okay.
do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming down to City Hall. It's not always easy. Okay. Mr. Usher, are you getting ready here for? Oh, perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect.